Alright, so this is part 2 of the video. We had to, we only get 10 minutes on YouTube, so basically we took the top off, we went through that. I think we were covered up till then, and we were just talking about taking this off and how these parts in here aren't, you know, they're not...
they're a line-up dowel for...
Yeah.
Holds the crankshaft exactly straight when you put it back in there.
Exactly, so we're going to pop that off now.
Yep.
Now, notice where he's doing that. You do not want to do it inside this part, because then you'll ruin the seal.
The face of it, yeah. It's a machined surface, so you have to keep that surface smooth. So, there is a gasket that goes there. You can see there's some of our gasket material there.
Sometimes you take it off and it's still fine, but...
Should be replaced if you're doing an engine job.
So, I haven't seen that before. Ooh, see, now look at all these nice little parts in throughout everywhere. So
that's our connecting rod basically right there.
Yeah, you can see through here there's nothing going up. So
there's the lower part of the connecting rod.
Yeah.
The part that I'm holding is actually your dipper. It splashes in through the oil as the engine's spinning.
And we'll do that. I'll show you in a second series of these videos. What it looks like when everyth's still together and fine.
There's a piece of your connecting rod as well.
Alright.
This engine probably blew up due to either lack of oil or lack of maintenance on it. The oil is very, very black.
Yeah. So, and also when you do this, just so you don't mess up the timing, if you're not going to be messing around with this, make sure you do it on a tilt, because if you don't do it on a tilt, like I had problems with, if this bearing's not in place, because on the one that I took apart the bearing came out. What's that?
Stayed in that here.
Yeah, it stayed in here. The whole section just falls right out, so...
If you're not familiar with timing when you put an engine back together, you would have issues down the road. You gotta have your camshaft timed with your connecting rod and piston and stuff. So.
Yeah. So do we have to get a bearing puller to get that out?
Yeah, might be able to squeeze it by here. Sometimes you can just do this too. Just hold that now.
There she goes. That's coming out.
Yeah, just bring that whole crankshaft in.
Okay.
So basically that's our crankshaft.
That's where the piston rod connects to and then moves the piston up and down as it spins around.
Yeah. Now just by looking at this engine, now that I have the crank out, it looks like it got dry of lack of oil. You can't see, there is usually an oil gallery hole there that would hold oil in there, a certain amount of oil to keep that connecting rod lubricated. There's not really a bearing, it's just aluminum on the forged steel crankshaft.
Yeah. So did we lose both the...
We lost our camshaft flew out. We wanted to show you a little more precise removement of that. But
so you remember in the first section of the video, you saw the exhaust and intake valves open up.
Opening and closing. Yeah.
This is what pushes it up. As it spins around, it pushes the lifter rod, and it gets it to move up, and
which is up in here. That goes in there like that. There's one for the intake and one for your exhaust.
Yeah.
When that's installed, of course, to the right specification for the timing and stuff. I don't know if you can see in there, but those lobes